The knock came at exactly midnight. 3 sharp, deliberate strikes against the metal door of my apartment on Outpost Helios 9, a frontier station that orbited a dying red star and existed mostly to prove that humans were stubborn enough to live anywhere. Midnight knocks were never good. On Helios 9, they usually meant accidents, raids, or deaths that needed witnessing. I reached for the drawer beside my bed out of habit, fingers brushing the grip of a pulse pistol I hadn't fired in years. Then I paused. The station's internal sensors showed no security alerts, no emergency broadcast, just a knock. I opened the door. She stood there, tall and slender, wrapped in a dark cloak that shimmered faintly as if it were woven from starlight itself. Her skin was a muted shade of indigo, smooth and unmarked, her eyes luminous silver that reflected the corridor lights like twin moons. She was not human. That alone would have been enough to surprise me, but what truly froze me in place was the expression on her face, not fear, not arrogance, but urgency. "Human," she said softly, her accent precise but unfamiliar. "I need you. Tonight." Every survival instinct I had screamed, "This is a terrible idea." And yet, I didn't close the door. Beginning. Why she came to me. "My name is Jonah Reyes, former systems engineer for the Terran fleet, currently a civilian contractor, who fixes things that break too far from Earth for anyone else to care." Helios 9 was a quiet post, shared by a handful of species under the loose authority of the Galactic Coalition. I recognized her species immediately. Alori. They were rare, ancient, and famously distant. Alori technology bordered on myth, biotech that grew instead of being built, ships that responded to emotion as much as command. They didn't interact with humans often, and when they did, it was always through official channels. This woman was alone. At my door. At midnight. "You shouldn't be here," I said. "I know," she replied. "That is why I came to you instead of the council." That raised a dozen red flags at once. "Start talking," I said. She glanced down the corridor, then met my eyes again. "My name is Salith. I am dying." I stared at her, searching for some sign of deception. Alori didn't lie easily. Their expressions betrayed them too clearly. "You don't look like you're dying," I said. "That is because the process has not completed," she replied. "But it will. Soon." I hesitated only a moment longer before stepping aside. "You'd better come in." The door sealed behind her with a soft hiss. The problem no one could solve. Salith removed her cloak and sat carefully on the edge of the chair opposite my workbench. Up close, I could see faint lines of light pulsing beneath her skin, like veins made of energy rather than blood. "Our species relies on symbiotic neural coherence," she explained. "It is how we regulate our internal systems. When isolated for too long, the coherence destabilizes." "Like a feedback loop?" I asked. "Yes, but one that becomes lethal." I frowned. "Why not go back to your people?" "Because," she said quietly, "I am no longer compatible with them." That got my attention. She extended her hand. I didn't take it, but I leaned closer as a holographic projection bloomed between her fingers, medical data in a form even a human could interpret. Her neural patterns were shifting, evolving. "This began after extended contact with human systems," she said. "Your technology, your environments, your presence." I let out a short laugh. "You're saying humans broke you?" She shook her head. "No. Humans changed me." According to Salith, her species had discovered something unsettling. Prolonged exposure to humans caused subtle alterations in Alori neurobiology. Not damage. Adaptation. Their carefully balanced coherence began to incorporate unpredictability. Human unpredictability. For most Alori, This was corrected by reintegration with their collective. For Salith, it wasn't. I was declared unstable, she said. A risk. So they kicked you out, I said. They isolated me, she corrected, to observe the outcome. My jaw tightened. That's cold. It is efficient, she replied. But now, the outcome is approaching. And where do I fit into this? I asked. Her silver eyes locked onto mine. You are the missing variable, she said. A human neural presence may stabilize the transformation, or it may accelerate it. Either way, I will not survive the night alone. Middle, why only a human would do. I paced the room, mind racing. Why me? There are thousands of humans on coalition stations. Not like you, Salith said. She explained that she'd been monitoring human neural profiles for weeks. Most humans carried layers of artificial augmentation, constant data feeds, mental noise from implants and networks. I didn't. I'd refused neural links after my fleet days. Too invasive. Too permanent. You exist, she said, at a rare intersection of human adaptability and neurological quiet. Lucky me, I muttered. What I am asking, she continued, is not safe. For either of us. Of course it isn't, I said. What does it involve? She hesitated. For the first time since she'd arrived, fear flickered across her face. Proximity, she said. Sustained neural alignment. Physical contact. I stopped pacing. You want me to sit next to you? I said slowly, and hope our brains don't fry each other. That is an inelegant description, she said, but accurate. And if it goes wrong, then the instability will cascade, she said. For me, possibly for you. I exhaled. Hard. This was insane. I owed her nothing. I could call station security, medical teams, the coalition. Let them handle it. But I looked at her again, alone, cut off from her people, counting down to an invisible clock. How long? I asked. Hours, she replied. Perhaps less. I pulled up a chair and sat across from her. All right, I said. Let's try not to die. The moment, everything changed. At first, nothing happened. We sat there in silence, knees almost touching, the only sound the distant hum of the station's life support systems. Salith closed her eyes, focusing inward. I did my best to relax, slowing my breathing the way I'd learned long ago. Then I felt it, a pressure behind my eyes, a warmth spreading through my chest. Not pain, connection. Salith gasped softly. The coherence is responding, she whispered. The lines beneath her skin brightened, pulsing faster, then slowing, syncing with my heartbeat. My thoughts felt clearer, sharper, as if noise I hadn't known was there had suddenly faded. I saw things that weren't mine, starfields from unfamiliar angles, echoes of Alienwoman memory, worlds grown rather than built, cities that sang to their inhabitants. And beneath it all, a sense of order struggling to accommodate something new. Human chaos. My vision blurred. Salith, I said, tell me this is working. She opened her eyes, silver blazing. It is working, but not as expected. Of course it wasn't. The coherence is expanding, she said, integrating your neural patterns instead of suppressing them. Is that bad? She smiled faintly. It is unprecedented. The room lights flickered as a surge of energy rippled outward, setting off minor alarms. I felt a sharp spike of dizziness, then sudden clarity. The pressure vanished. Salith slumped forward. I caught her instinctively, steadying her as the glow beneath her skin settled into a softer, stable rhythm. She was breathing. Slowly. Evenly. Alive. Ending. After it was too late to turn back. When Salith woke, it was morning.